Yo, 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 come on in. Come on in. Let's talk right quick. Let's talk right quick. Y'all see the background. Hey, Lee. He actually would have been a damn good coach for the Browns, but I don't think the Browns had the personnel back in the day. But y'all come on in, man. Come on in. Let's talk. Sit down. Let's talk, man. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk, man. I know it's late. Just getting in. Had to talk to y'all right quick about this news. Um, hey, the truth. Hey, man, we'll see. We'll aim it. What's good, man? But let's come. Let's talk about it, man. Um, let's be real about it. See the topic, man. Circling the block, and it's something that the Falcons do very well because they circle the block on Raheem Morris. 396. What's good? Yeah, man. But that boy Fly 81. What's good, my brother? What's good? But let's be real, man. Circling the block ain't nothing new for the Falcons. Like I said before, they hired Raheem Morris. Bill Belichick was in for a whole week during interviews, man, and we'll see how it go, man. But for life was good, my guy Craig. Burrow and Bill, that would be a good idea. That's a good idea. But we got to wait to see how the season's gonna turn out, man. 5-9 right now, going into Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. And if y'all seen the report the other day when I put up a video about Raheem Morris talking about Kirk Cousins, it let me know that I think he no, man, I don't eat popcorn. I ain't had no chicken wing today, my boy Nate. Not today. Hey, the truth, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, man. Great Christmas gift. Definitely appreciate it, my brother. Definitely appreciate it. Uh, I wish I had some chicken wings, man. I wish I had some, but we talk about circling the block, man. And uh, where they circle the block by interviewing Bill Belichick, like I said, he's at North Carolina right now. It's right up the road, not that far a drive. And shout out to my sister Joy, man. She actually gave me this topic earlier today, but I couldn't get to it. I had some things going on, but um, one thing about it, man, if they want to win, now is the time. They have the right roster in place. Um, they have the superstars, to contend. And one thing about Bill Belichick that I love, man, he'll move on with somebody that and he'll move on with somebody, without a heart, without even thinking twice about it. And this is what I love, man. Um 8396. Hey, I had chicken wing yesterday, not today, man. Yeah, it ain't gonna snow today. It's a little warm outside, even though it was 19 degrees the other night. Um, but when you talk about Belichick, you talk about one of the better minds in football history, man. 6 Super Bowls, and we can talk about him and Tom Brady. We can say Tom Brady carried him, but to me, it was both ways because Bill the one gave him the chance. So the thing about Bill, man, Bill is a strong mind, and I was looking at April Showers live the other day last week, and she talked about Bill Belichick and talking with Rich McKay, and he's told her that he would not hire Bill Belichick under his watch. But at the end of the day, he can say that, but it's Arthur Blanch's decision. Let's keep it real. And I know that's his right hand man, but this could be one of those regret type things because if you hire him from the jump, we could possibly be further ahead than we are. Who knows? That's yet to be seen. Ryan Price was good, my guy. But also, to finish on Raheem Morris, he was talking about Kirk Cousins and him possibly starting week 1 next year and being the week 1 starter. So knowing that this name has come up again is kind of puzzling. And what I mean, you can see it right here, and I'm gonna pull it up right quick. With Josina Anderson, and she put it out a little bit earlier, and it was emphasized. My boy Chris about to pop in a second. But she says, and y'all can see it per quotes. I'm told there's been recent interest expressed at the very least in speaking with Bill Belichick on exploratory basis from two teams per league source. Now, exploratory is pretty much what they did last year when they talked to him for a whole week and he stayed down here for a week, two interviews, dinner on the yacht. I mean, with Arthur Blank. So I'm sure they had a pretty good conversation. But from other sources, it was just like they were meeting and they were picking his brain to see how to build his team and to see how to build a winning team. And they did that in the right way. But let's be real about it. Terry Fontenot, Raheem Morris, Rich McKay, Greg Beatles, all those guys in the front office, some way they went wrong. And as I've been telling you from the jump, man, when you actually think about what's been going on, they pretty much have shown you that they're gonna do what they want. So to bring up Bill Belichick name in this conversation again in exploratory, and they already been through that phase. That's why it puzzles me. But when you talk about Josina Anderson, she probably one of the best in the business outside of those guys, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, and those guys. She's probably one of the biggest sources, man, because she talked to athletes, GMs, all of that. But to finish this off, man, she said, my understanding is Belichick has upper level personnel still fond of him in Atlanta. Still fond of him in Atlanta. New York with the Giants. Cleveland. And all struggling teams going through customary evaluation this time of the year. And they're going to go through these evaluations probably, I would say probably up to the draft. Who knows, to the new league, which is March 13th. But additionally, I'm told up to 7 more teams are monitoring potential change of head coaches. The Titans are open, and we know with the Titans, worst record in football outside of the Raiders and the Giants. Up to 3 to 4 more teams are considering change at general manager. And this time, the Miami Dolphins already have a GM vacancy. And this is the thing, man. He couldn't even not be coming to coach. He could be just coming to be a GM. And with what Terry has put together, he may get credit for it. Who knows if he comes here? But the key thing about that last spot is you got to remember with Miami, he probably had ties there because you got to remember his good friend Nick Saban was a head coach there, so he knows the owner, he knows all of that. But when you talk about the Cleveland Browns, Andrew Berry, he screwed up a lot. And Cleveland's owner is an older guy. He's in the real estate, and he's probably ready to win like Arthur Blank. So when you think about how all these teams tie in together, all of them have losing records. But the positive side of this is that Atlanta has the best record throughout all of these teams with losing records. We just could not close games. That's why we're at 5-9. And I think even though I've seen reports that nobody wants to come here because this job is not one of those ones that wows people, but at the same time, when you look at the talent, you look at the coaches they have on the staff. If you want to keep some of these coaches, who knows? But truly, I think this could work out as GM or coach. Who knows? And if he doesn't want to coach, he comes in as a consultant in the front office. That may be pushing Rich McKay to the back, and that's something that I would love to see. But Chris, what's up, my guy?
My goodness, what's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling?
You choking on chicken wing sauce too, ain't you?
Oh man, I was just sitting back, listening to you, spectating myself, and had to wipe my hands, all that good stuff was going on though.
But Bill, you talked off air, man, and you said you were kind of iffy about this, and tell us why. Because I'm not. Before I get to your point, the reason why I would not be iffy is because I'm at the point where we need a strong football mind in the front office and on the sidelines. No matter which way this goes, if he comes as a GM, he comes as a team president, it doesn't matter. a strong football mind to build teams and to scout talent. Because you remember, just like we talk about Terry Fontenot, Bill Belichick was one of those guys that went out and put out footwork as well because he'd go to small colleges, he'd go to CFL, he would travel anywhere to find talent as long as it fits his system. And as long as you remember, a lot of these guys, Julian Edelman, Wes Welker, I can just keep going and keep going. He did some big name, some small school guy. Troy Brown is another one. Troy Brown played wide receiver and cornerback back in the day, and Bill Belichick made him irrelevant in so many ways. You talk about a 16-year vet, and Matthew Slater played special team the whole time. So what Bill Belichick brings as far as knowledge is probably impeccable. So what would be your problem? Your only problem would be a Belichick possibly coming in some kind of role with the Falcons.
Well, for me, like I was telling you before, it goes back to decision making and having the right or wrong person in your ear. I just feel like for the Falcons, if you let's just hypothetically say you hire Bill Belichick as your head coach, it just feels like you're going to be more of a clown show because it's just going to be like after a couple seasons of Raheem Morris, 2 seasons, 2 more seasons of Raheem Morris after you had him as an interim coach before, you bring him back in after things didn't work out with Arthur Smith. Things didn't work out with Raheem Morris. Now you're back knocking on the door of Bill Belichick. It just seems so like when you just step outside of it, it just seems so comical. Like it's still like it's a joke. It's a real deal joke. And we're not still, I still am concerned about whether Bill Belichick has lost that slider. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to be the coach that has that immaculate career that's going to be a Hall of Fame coach and everything. And then the same deal, if you bring him in as a GM, it's like, okay, so you just absolutely just crap on the things that Terry Fontenot has done recently, and you just completely just move him out the way. The biggest concern also, too, you think about it, is Arthur going to be comfortable with possibly parting ways with Bill? Or is Bill going to be open to work with Rich? Those questions right there alone are so so colossal. It really like kind of like boggles my mind to even think about it. Like it's going to have to be a lot of sacrifice, and will older gentlemen kind of stuck in their ways be able to come to a firm agreement as men and say, hey man, we're going to make this thing work for the football team? I know what they supposed to do. I know that it could happen, but I'm just saying if could was a would, we all would be feeling good. So it's just like I'm just saying, like I'm just being honest, bro. Like that's how I really like. Those are my real candid thoughts about it. It feels like we'll be a clown show because why you just didn't do this from the beginning? Why you didn't make the tough decisions beforehand? The tough decisions as a business, as a franchise, and just make things shape the first go around. Well, I mean, we can have thoughts and opinions, and we already know. I feel like Terry Fontenot and Rich McKay, that was one time that we can really say that it was a collaborative effort to make sure that Bill Belichick did not get down here. And now 2 seasons later, you're kind of back in that situation to where you possibly may entertain bringing him in now after 2 seasons. It just you're going to have to stop dancing around. You're going to have to bite a bullet and stay with it soon. It's just like, you're going to have to make that tough decision and live with it and stop doing all this dance and song stuff. Like, I'm just saying, like, hypothetically speaking, again, if we were to really entertain it. Not saying that the Falcons plan to, not saying that the Falcons will actually do it, but of course, we're just talking about with the report and just talking about if it really did happen or if it really did come in and seeing, Bill Belichick is being interviewed by the Falcons. It just seems like a clown show. I've seen enough Ringling Brothers around here and enough Universe Soul Circus in Atlanta. I'm over it, bro. I'm just over it. Let's just try to like get away from all the song and dance and just really just try to get back to football. Again, we don't know if Bill is going to be Bill that everybody remembers him as, or he's going to be Bill after Tom Brady. So
That's a good point. But I'm gonna ask you this: you talk about, you're gonna mess over whatever Terry Fontenot done, but if they decide to move on from him at the end of the season, I mean, it's gonna be a lost cause anyway. And
yeah,
this is
yeah,
probably
true.
why they're scouting to see if they can find another football mind to bring in case they want to keep Terry Fontenot and give him, another piece of advice. But really, he don't need it because he's been in the NFL front office the last 20 years. And also,
Right.
when you look at the dynamic of the situation, um, I feel like Raheem could save a job, like me and you've been talking about, by just going out and finding an offensive mind that can help with the quarterback position and help, with scheming and game planning with the offense. But at the same time, if you bring in a new GM consultant or whatever, either way it go, you're gonna have to blow up the team, whether it's a new coach or a new GM. Because what if that new GM bringing in his type coach and they have a different type um situation as to what they like? Then we talking about blowing up the team either way. So it's a catch-22 and it's a 50-50 thing. But to see his name pop back up, it's just intriguing to me because, like you said, 2 years ago, they could have made this decision and no matter telling where we would be. But the draft could also go in another direction. It's just so much dynamic to this. And with a football mind like he is, like I said earlier, he's one of those guys. He'll break down the team just like Mike Vrabel is doing in New England right now to get his type guys to fit his system. And we could be talking about, some of our best players, um, possibly leaving because of the new dynamic or of what they may do. So this is just
Right.
something that they got to have some deep thought on. But Ryan Price, thank you for the donation, my brother. He said Richard the gatekeeper.
Super.
If he stays, it's going to be a coaching carousel, and I don't see Arthur Blank partner with him. And yeah, we've been saying that he's not going anywhere. But go ahead.
No, no, absolutely. Because again, like Smitty first, how this all first started off. And Smitty, you started off with saying, when you get older, your circle gets smaller. But also, when you get older, you kind of get it's a part of that circle, and you get stuck in your ways. So it's like you're comfortable with the company you're keeping. So are you willing to be uncomfortable with some new company at an older age? It's just so many situations that you're like, okay, you're going to have to really like break character or break, habits. And can you do that? Can you execute that, as a front office?
Well, that's a
Like,
good question. But how long have I been saying that though? They have
I
to
mean, we've
learn to
been
be
talking about,
uncomfortable. What if it's now is the time? But think about it.
yeah,
Yeah, they decide to do it right now, and say they bring in the right, coach or GM, and actually turn this thing around. Because I've seen teams just like Miami a couple of years ago with Brian Flores. That team was awful before they won 10 more games the next season. So what if the dynamic shifts to where, hey, we bring in a coach and a GM, and we keep our key core players, find a quarterback that got this offense, and we'll playoff team next year. Then all is forgiven. See,
let me ask you this.
okay, go ahead.
And I'm okay. First of all, chat, I'm not one of those type of guys, like, before I say this, but my question is this: is Bill Belichick also going to be able to juggle a relationship, something that he never had while he was like that public, and then while he was with the NFL, or what's going on in UNC right now with, since the fact that they gotta ban his girlfriend and all this other stuff like that. She wants to say this, she wants to do that. All the antics that they've been doing together, her wearing Falcon Super Bowl shirts and all this other circus and stuff, just jabs at the Falcons, jabs at the Falcons. And then you bring in Bill and she's right by his side. Like, is Bill going to be able to keep it football, or is Bill going to be influenced throughout the week by his lovely lady? I mean,
That's a
I'm
great
just being
point.
on, and
I
I'm
can't
just
argue with that.
asking
That's a great
because of
point.
what yes, because what we have seen in the college world and what we have heard has been things that we are just not used to hearing about Bill Belichick. So is your mind clouded? Are you going to be crystal clear as you can be, or are you going to be slightly distracted? Those I feel like are reasonable questions that first of all, a franchise that needs a good shakeup, they need to be asking those quality questions. Those are due diligence. And my thing is, they have to be honest answers, not no, oh, well, no, I got that situated. No, we really need proof of that, because this is a franchise, this is a business, and we can't have personal affairs interfering in business decisions, interfering in practices. I'm thinking about practices. I'm thinking about training camp. I'm thinking about personal appearances. Like when he's on the podium, is she trying to get up there too? Like, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just asking these real questions.
Well, I mean, that's an excellent question, and it's something to ponder. But one thing Bill got to know, when it comes to professionalism, you can't do that in the pros. He can probably get away with it in college because his kids around there. But in the pros, it's absolutely professionalism. So I know he can differentiate that. And two, I'm sure they're gonna have that talk, in the meeting, as if they have a meeting, just like they did last time. And to be honest, I don't know what he was thinking, going to get that little girl, to be his great grandchild. But the thing about it, man, I'm just looking for an aspect as far as football knowledge, and that's the way I'm gonna keep it. But Ryan is right. Rich is on the NFL board, NFL rules. He's just on the board. Period. He's always back and forth from New York to Atlanta, and he said he comes in the building at least once a week, so he's always flying back. And we'll see how it turns out. But look, I just think, personnel wise and knowledge wise, is the only reason it makes sense to me. And honestly, I would be more comfortable with him as a GM rather than a head coach, because as I've said before, the game may have passed him by just a little bit. So in that aspect,
that's why I said about that slider.
Yeah, exactly.
And then again, life after Tom Brady has not been kind to Bill Belichick. If we just cut it off right there when Tom Brady dropped down in Tampa Bay, and we just cut it off right there and just say, all right, Belichick, your career starts from here. I ain't gonna lie to you. From that aspect, from a draft aspect, that's another thing. We talk about having him as a GM, but from a draft aspect and from what the team looked like when you left it compared to now, you trash.
Yeah.
Straight up.
But
so it's like, again, what Belichick are you getting? I mean, yeah, you got a lot of football knowledge, but I'm just saying, Smitty, if we want to keep it real, so does Jerry Gray. He got a lot of football knowledge.
True. But I'm gonna be real.
So it's like,
I'm gonna be real with you on this aspect of it. As I've been saying, and I've said this on countless occasions, that he's one of those guys that if he comes in, no matter if it's coach or GM, you're gonna always be comfortable to know that you're gonna have somebody in place in case something go wrong. And as I'm looking at the aspects of him coming in too, I'm just sitting thinking about already right on the top of my head while we sitting here talking. We need a quarterback at the quarterback position. You bring in a Bill Belichick, and you got a bridge guy, and we've talked about Kyler Murray, Jameis Winston, on and on. But one guy that I know that he will go get and is a serviceable bridge guy and knows the system that he would bring, and that would be Jimmy Garoppolo. And how long have we been talking about quarterbacks? And I'm just saying, it's just his football knowledge, man. That's the reason why I'm intrigued about it. At this point, I don't even care about coaching. If he comes and just be the GM or the team president, I'm fine with that. Because Greg Beatles, absolutely, he's not doing nothing but showing his face. He just a yes man, and I'm tired of yes men.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel that, bro. But it just, even with the person left in place, the person that he left in place got fired.
You talking about Gerard Mayo?
Yes.
Oh, that was a disaster.
That was really a setup, though, because that roster was not going anywhere. Again, Belichick left him that roster, and he didn't succeed with it. And now it's a complete turnover. They have the guy that they want. they have a former player for them and coach, you know what I'm saying, different philosophy, different message and everything like that. Now they have everything looking like it's back on schedule up there. You know, now that is something that worked out for them, but you already see the type of coach that it is. So, like again, the
But that's my
Patriots
whole
did
point
similar
about
to
being a
what the
GM.
Falcons did. Yeah, the Patriots did similar to what the Falcons did, but they was able to succeed in it.
Right. But yeah, that's my whole point about it, though, Chris. If that's my main point about being a GM. If he comes in as a GM and he can make the necessary moves that he needs to make, I have no problem with him coming in and doing that because one, you know, the coach that he is going to bring in, he's going to know the New England way. He's going to be adapted to winning, and he's going to have a structure in place that the coach will have to stick to.
Yeah, I mean, again, I definitely see what the point that you're making with the football knowledge, winning head coach. I mean, somebody that just knows how to win regardless and get the
Right.
most that he possibly can out of football players. But I just feel like that Bill Belichick is dead. I feel like that hold on, let me rephrase that. I feel like that Bill Belichick doesn't exist anymore. I think that Bill Belichick, yeah, when Tom Brady went on to Tampa, I think that Bill Belichick was dearly departed then. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm just looking at what he did after. I can't ignore that. I just can't,
Yep.
and I won't ignore
Yep.
it. So
Hey,
I'm
I
looking
give
at
it
what
that.
he's doing now,
I give
and
it that.
within yeah, and I'm just saying, I'm looking at what he's doing now, what's happening in UNC. He doesn't want to be there. They don't want him there. You know, but they don't went all through this song and dance and everything beforehand, the 400-page thing on what you need to do and all this stuff to make this friend. We don't went through all this, and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden he might be out of it. And bro, keep that mess over there, okay? Figure it out
Yeah.
in a different aspect. That's what you get paid to do. So stop making the easy, trying to make the easy decisions, or stop making decisions that you should have made already, and then you'll be looking like a clown for it. Like, just stop doing stupid stuff. Like, I'm just over it, bro.
Say it
I'm
with your
sorry, I'm
chest.
just over it, bro. I'm just
Yeah.
like Belichick. Belichick is not the same Belichick, and I'll say if I'm wrong for it, and if you bring him in and I'm wrong, I promise you I don't mind eating crow. But until then, Belichick is not Belichick no more.
Hey,
He
you
just
say you
will
cooking, man.
that is not Bill Belichick. That is William Belichick now.
Uh,
Okay, that
the
is not
older
the same
Bill.
guy.
The
That
older
is not
Bill.
the same guy.
uh, you say you cooking, man. But
I'm just being honest, bro. Just stop doing that. Just stop it. Stay. I just wish I wish I could just grab all of them by their hand and just hit it with that old big old spoon. Stop it. Just real,
I
bro.
got, I
Like
got, I got, I got a question to how you're referring to this move. Um, they missed this 2 years ago, and now Raheem is not the guy as we see it. Um, will they ever get it right under these guys, or do they just need to push some of these guys out the door before they even figure out how to get it right? Because I'm
bro,
at this point, I'm pretty confused. Because as we've been talking about over and over about being uncomfortable, about finding the right guy for the job, about doing what's right. And the bad part is they had part of it right by putting Terry Fontenot in the GM spot, but you still making the calls behind the scenes. It's not gonna work. So are they gonna ever be able to fix this? And the way I'm looking at it, no.
it looks real grim. I'm not gonna lie to you. Man, you got a fork in the road, and we got a fork in the road, and we're going straight. So, bro, it's ugly right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, but we're gonna have to like
We're gonna need
really,
some new tires in a minute.
bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like in a minute, we're gonna be looking like the Flintstones. I'm telling you, it ain't gonna be no tires. We're just gonna be picking up and just take off running. Because honestly, I got my personal thoughts about it, but I'll keep it professional. So I'll just say, ultimately, I just think that it's going to have to be a tear
Or
down.
put it in layman terms.
I
Put it
just
in
think
layman
it's going to have
terms
to
if you
be a
can.
tear down of the front office and certain people making certain decisions. I ain't saying that Arthur has to sell the team. I'm not saying that
No,
Arthur
no,
even
no,
has
hell
to
no.
like. Yeah, I'm not even saying anything like that. But I do feel like it does have to needs to be some sort of changeover and not just one or two people. But like it needs to be some sort of a changeover. Maybe bring in some fresh ideas, some fresh NFL blood. You know what I'm saying? Like you can bring in guys from past relationships, but it gotta make sense, you know, too. And ultimately the leadership all the way around has got to be efficient and it's got to be effective too. But you know, I got a question. You know what? I'm gonna bring it up right now since we just talking about it and we shooting the breeze real quick. Let me ask y'all a
Go
question.
ahead. Go ahead.
All right, so Dan Campbell for the Detroit Lions, right? If you look at his first three seasons, his first season, they was absolutely terrible. They only had 3 wins. But again, you can only imagine what that roster was looking like. Then they made some improvement. They were 9-8. And then after that, they had their big run to where it was like, what, was it 14-2 or 15-1, something like that? Either way it goes. So my point is, in 3 seasons, you saw improvement. You saw that season where they got slapped all around all year. They improved the next
Right.
season. You know, saying it was a winning record. It didn't make the playoffs, but it was a winning record. You had more wins than losses, and then then the next season you just take off.
But see, I'm glad you bring that point up because if you look at Raheem's first season compared to Dan Campbell's first season, it's like night and day. Because
Mm-hmm.
he started off 6-3, but his ego got in the way with the quarterback position, and we ended up falling off a cliff. Now you fast forward to this year, those people that were on that team last year, and don't get me wrong, this is a much better roster than we had last year. We got rid of the dead weight, we got rid of the contract, we got rid of all that. Then you bring in talent through the draft, through free agency, and you still can't pick it up. And this is the problem that I have with the front office. This is why I said, can they ever do it? Because you have the roster right now to win. You just don't have the right guy driving the damn ship. So if you
Mm-hmm.
don't ever get the right guy driving the ship, how can you turn it around? And I know it seems like we just regurgitating the same thing, but all this stuff is just coming full circle with every move and every report that you see in the news. Because for some reason, we always talk about things 1 to 2 months before it happened, and right around the corner, here it comes. So we back talking about it again. So look, it's
What be
just
happening,
confusing,
man?
man. But you,
I
if I
hate it,
had to
bro.
choose one of those guys, I would go with the young offensive mind Clint Kubiak. But I know Mike McCarthy has a Super Bowl; he's got experience. But
Mm-hmm.
you got to catch up with the times. And then that's what the Falcon problem is. They still living to back in the day when they first drafted Matt, or they still had Mike Vick. Get up to the times and see the way offense is running, see the way coaches coaching, and that's why you have to. If you're gonna get a young mind, make sure it's a guy like Clint Kubiak, like me and you talked about. Um, the way he's efficient with the offense, that's the type of guy you need. So
Yeah.
it's just frustrating, man.
No, it is because you really don't. It's so many different directions that the Falcons could go, and and a lot of them aren't easy decisions, and a lot of them aren't really a quick, easy fix when you think about it. If you do make a change,
Absolutely, absolutely,
and so again, we've
absolutely.
said it before. This feels like darn if you do, darn if you don't. You know, so it's tough because you keep raw, you're gonna upset the fan base. But we already on said what's going to be the cop out for that. We know a couple guys are going to get fired, and you're going
Right.
to bring in more experience. You know, say there's a chance that Mike McDonald still may get fired down there. No, Mike McDaniels
Mike
may get fired
McDaniels,
down
yeah.
there. Yeah, he may get fired down there in the Dolphins, and it's crazy. We talked about possibly him ended up in Atlanta, and now it's actually gaining steam from sources and media and everything like that around Atlanta. So
And I
now,
said that 2 months ago.
right? Yeah,
That was
like
my
you
guy
even
two
made a
months
video
ago.
about it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You made a video about it. We talked about it on live on how we would be for it. And so that could be another option that could keep him here. And I was saying that Dan Campbell thing because if you do keep Ra, it'll be his third season. Now,
Yeah,
would
yeah, I get
Ra
that.
be able to do something different and finally get over the hump in the third season like Dan Campbell was able to? Now, again, it's two different situations because the talent levels were two different situations. Again, like you said,
Facts.
starting off 6-3, finishing the way you did. Now this year you're going to finish worse than what you did. So it's like, okay, your second season was worse than your first season instead of reverse. What would your third season look like? Would you be fired halfway through? You know what I'm saying? Would you get that? Because remember, we've been through this before though with Dan Quinn. Remember,
Right.
he
Right.
won down the stretch on the back end and the season before he got fired, and that got him to come back one more time. We started out 0-5, what happened? Boom. He gets, you know what I'm saying? He gets fired. But again, that winning down the stretch and that, you know what I'm saying, showing the fire that they want to play for the coach and all that stuff like that. Us as Falcon fans, we've seen that movie before. Just roll the credits. You know what I'm saying? We've seen that.
But I'm glad you bring that Detroit situation up because it got so many ties as to what we talking about. You talk about that third season with Dan Campbell. Look at it in the aspect as he had two damn good coaches around him, and they came up with a game plan. And what have I been saying to you? Raheem Morris is an egotistical guy that put young guys around him because he want to do things his way. And necessarily, you don't have to do that. You have to have great football minds around you for the team, not just you, for the team, for the players, for the young guys, for the veterans, because all that got to tie in as one. That's how Dan Campbell turned it around. Him and those veteran coaches, because look at Aaron Glenn right now in New York. No, they got a losing season, but they playing hard for him. Ben Johnson, a guy
Ben
who we
Johnson.
interviewed, a guy we interviewed, a guy you can see his philosophy paying off in Chicago in the first year. So you didn't tell me the Falcons can't go out and find that kind of coach. And one guy, and D. Craig says it right here. Joe Brady would be one of those offensive minds like a Ben Johnson, coached at the LSU, coached at the Buffalo Bills, who's pretty much with Josh Allen. Probably should win the Super Bowl with Kansas City out the way, but we'll see how that turns out. But
yeah, we'll see how that turns out.
But the only thing that I'm just basically saying, if he made those moves in the beginning, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
He got it his own way.
He did, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, it depends on what happens on Black Monday. Like, I mean, if Zach Taylor gets fired, you know what I'm saying, it could affect Joe Burrow. You know what I'm saying? Then, like, for example, if the Bills were to win somehow, that would be crazy, right? How their season started off and then they end up winning the Super Bowl. But anyway, that's neither here or there. But if they did win the Super Bowl, Joe Brady could be up because if they do, Sean McDermott is definitely not going anywhere. He will be extended or et cetera, whatever is going to happen like that after winning the Super Bowl.
If they make a deep playoff run, he's staying. If they make a deep playoff run, he's staying.
Right,
think about it.
Winning the Super Bowl, he's getting at least another 5-year extension just off of that.
Oh yeah, and think about it. I mean, look how much they lost in that secondary. That secondary is totally different from 3 years ago. They lost the two best safety they had. They lost the best cornerback they had, and they still find a way to win football games. So that's what I'm saying. When you a head coach, you got to find ways to win. That's all I'm saying. You got to find ways to win, and Rod hasn't done that on a consistent basis. Oh boy.
My God damn, bro. Nah, I was using the Jason saying coaching.
It's just sad, bro.
That's what it is, though, bro. You get like when players go down, that's when the coaches really earn their money. And then when players come back, if other guys were doing well, then now it's the coach to even earn even more of their money, because now they got to try to figure out how can we be able to be effective with both players, or multiple players or multiple schemes and everything like that with different guys coming back. That's where the coaches earn their money. Now, don't get it confused at all. Regardless of what the coaches put out there as game plans, the players always, and I do mean always, have to execute.
Yeah.
Because I don't matter. You can throw out the best player in the world like that.
Yeah, that dude is always in my chat on YouTube. Talking about I'm always blaming Raheem Morris. I blame the players all the time. How many times have you heard me blame Darnell Mooney? How many times you heard me say something about Kyle Pitts dropping footballs?
Mm-hmm.
How many times you heard me saying Michael Penix made a mistake, throwing that ball to the ground 2-3 times in a row?
Right. I mean, players getting faked out. Players getting faked out. Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell. I mean, when JD Bertrand was in there, and my thing is even Devon Diablo, he's not perfect. He's missed tackles. Now, more so with that club on his hand than not. But I mean, he's still effective, but he's not perfect. Ain't nobody on that field perfect. Everybody misses a play here and there. Everybody misses an assignment. People blow coverages. People blow a sandwich. People overrun the quarterback. All that different stuff. So I mean, at the end of the day, we're gonna blame. We're going to place blame on players and coaches. It just all depends on if it's players and coaches that day. If it's just more so the players. If it's more so with the coaches and what they were drawing up that didn't make any sense. At the end of the day, man, we're gonna give everybody their fault, but at the same time, we're gonna give everybody flowers too. Like when Kyle Pitts had that career day, we of course we're some of the biggest supporters. We love this team, good, bad, happy, sad. We're gonna talk about it, So we're gonna talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever. And Kyle Pitts, and shout out to him. He had that, he was a NFC offensive player of the week, and he deserved it. Career day. Hopefully, we'll get more days similar. It don't have to be exact the same, but at least similar to it moving forward. We'll see.
But do you see how the field opened up when they included him? Like I've been saying all season, they do that. How the offense will open up. As soon as they did it, they looked like a totally different team.
Right.
But you can't get out of your own way. Things like that happen. So I mean, hey, what do I know? But you got anything else before we get out of here?
Nah, man. I feel like I've said enough. That's how I feel about the guy that's over my left shoulder. If I was on camera right now, I'm just now that's how that you know man. What his face is kind of how I'm looking when we were started talking about that. I'm just like, what?
I might need to change the topic of that thumbnail to what?
Man.
But yeah, man. Joy D. Craig said even Arthur Smith smart enough to hire well experienced defensive coordinator Dean Pease. Absolutely. And see, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying, bro.
You supposed to know that.
Get out of your own way. I do always give Arthur credit for that. He came in as a first-year head coach. He now offense is kind of like his thing, so I understand about doing that. But he brought in Dean Pease because he's like, hey, look, yeah, I don't need no rookie guy coming in here. He could have brought somebody from Tennessee. He did not. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have got some experience. And then after Dean Pease didn't work out, what did he do? Go get more experience. So it's just
right.
Oh gosh,
just common sense, man. Some things just common sense. And the thing about it, we joked about Arthur Smith play calling, clutch play calling, situational play calling, and all of that. But I guarantee you, Arthur Smith had his team, it would probably be better than what it is now. See, sometimes you just miss out on things because of timing. You got to put two things in the right place at the same time. And that's just something that we can't do. We did it with Dan Quinn, but Kyle Shanahan, ego, overrode that. Now, with Arthur Smith, he had an ego too, but his lackluster enthusiasm is what is his downfall. Now we have Raheem Morris, who and ego, I mean, is blowing his head up, and now he can't stay out his way. So you got to get a level-headed guy in here that's no nonsense, knows what to do, and wants to win. So we'll see. We'll see. But we appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Quick pop up. Tell them where to find you, Chris.
Hey man, A1 Forever Sports on YouTube, man. Just got over 4,500. Appreciate y'all, each and every last one of y'all who subscribed to the channel. And if you're not subscribed to A1 Forever, please make sure y'all go ahead and just type in A1 Forever Sports, man. Hit that subscribe button. That's all I need, man. It really goes a long way, that and likes and watch time. So I really appreciate y'all for there. Hawks Digest, y'all. Shoot, man, I'm actually about to get ready to do a video and talk about return of Trae Young tonight. Limited minutes, like I thought it was gonna be. He only played 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And but Jalen Johnson, absolute man, that guy's a monster. Absolute 43 points tonight on his birthday. 43 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. Absolutely crazy, man. That guy, if he's not an all-star this year, I may have to go put hands on Adam Silver. I don't know. But at the end of the day, man. No, go ahead.
We just want to win at the end of the day. And then Jalen Johnson, I keep telling y'all, man, look, I knew when that kid came out of Duke, the Hawks had to steal. So I'm still talking Falcons. I knew the Hawks had to steal, man. I knew it. I saw the talent at Duke. He only played like 11 or 13 games, but 3 games that I saw him play in, I just knew he had that talent. And to see him fall way down to number 20 was mind-boggling. But again, some reason, GMs and coaches and things of this nature, they let ACLs and knees block their vision of what these players could be. And the Hawks had a miracle fall in their hands. He is something I haven't seen at the forward spot since Dominique. And I'm going to keep it real with y'all. There's no slight to Joe Johnson, no slight to Trae Young, no slight to nobody. But as far as talent, he's the best talent we had since Dominique.
And he had the most points on his birthday since Dominique. Dominique had 53 on his birthday.
Wow, that's crazy. But that makes my point. But y'all know to catch me, man. Smitty Sports Machine on YouTube. As I keep dropping daily content, man. As I keep telling y'all, please go to our videos, hype them up, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so every time we drop a video, y'all will know. Again, catch me on Twitter at fatboyslim_21 on Twitter. I'm always over there blowing that thing up. And the next show, if it's not a pop-up, will probably be Sunday after the Arizona game. But if a topic comes up before then, y'all will see us back on live. But also, please go to the community chat, my community chat. If y'all have an idea, and we already have an idea from one of the community chats about a show we're going to do down the road, and someone asked me to do. So me and Chris going to come up with an idea. We're going to cook it up, and we're going to bring it to y'all. But more than likely, it's probably going to be after the season because of the subject that's at hand. So we'll see how it turns out, man. But again, thank y'all for tuning in. The True 706 and Ryan Price, thank y'all for the donation. Truly appreciate it. And again, happy holidays to y'all as well. Christmas is exactly a week away from tonight. So y'all better get that Christmas shopping out the way because it's going to be hectic the next 7 days. These last minute folks. But we're going to holler at y'all soon because I ain't going to eat no chicken wing, but I'm finna watch the rest of this Sports Center, and I'm going to probably try to get some rest. But for Chris, it's your boy Smitty. We're going to holler at y'all later, man. Peace.